Hey there everybody, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Puborama, and in today's video I'll be breaking into this week's deals and discounts for Grand Theft Auto Online. We'll be talking about cars that are decent deals to buy, ones that you should stay very far away from, and the pretty tragic money-making strategies this week. Let's get straight into it! Last week was pretty dang lame for any money grinders. There was no extra cash on businesses or literally any cargo whatsoever. And guess what? This week is literally the same. Just like last week, there is triple money on races like the SC Classic races, the open wheel, and stunt races. But there's one new thing, which is now the junk energy races. You just pull out an inductor motorcycle and you can make 100 grand in like a minute or two. I guess it's cool. It's still pretty pointless. You can do a payphone hit in the same amount of time and make just around the same money without having to put in any extra effort. So once again, this week is terrible for money making strategies. I mean, sure, if you play in a stunt race with like 30 people, you might be able to make a couple hundred grand if you finish in first, but the chances of running into that race with all these other people and then winning that race is so slim, especially with the modders I have on PC, that it's just really not gonna happen. So with that out of the way, I figured we'd break into the deals and discounts this week because that's really the only thing that you'd probably care about. First of all, we have the property discount, which is the Eclipse Boulevard Garage. It is 30% off. If you don't own it, I'd suggest to pick it up. It's not that expensive to begin with, and it can literally store 50 cars. So yeah, kind of just a dub there. Make sure to pick up the Eclipse Boulevard Garage. For the Podium vehicle, we have the Jester Classic. This is a pretty fun sports vehicle. It's not fast, it only goes about 120 miles per hour, and it doesn't feature the best handling either. It's pretty mediocre in the entirety of the sports class, I'm not going to lie. But it is based off a Supra, and literally everybody likes the Supra, so if you manage to pick this vehicle up for free, I would definitely suggest to upgrade it. It's got some great customization going for it, and it's a super cool vehicle. I do still kind of hope Rockstar does give it a little bit of a revamp, because it doesn't have the most customization available, but oh well. It's still a pretty cool vehicle, and it can get the job done. Somebody just took my parking spot. Well, whatever. After the Jester Classic, we have the Ardent. The Ardent is actually a pretty underrated sports classic vehicle. It might not be the nicest looking car. I think it's based off the Lotus Esprit, but while it may not look the nicest, it does actually feature some really cool things going for it, like amazing lap time. The Ardent features a top speed of 118 miles per hour and the 5th best lap time for all of the sports classics. That's pretty dang impressive, I'm actually not gonna lie. To get this vehicle, it is part of the LS Car Meet Prize Ride. It's actually a bit of an annoying one. You're gonna have to finish first place 3 days in a row. Now, if you have one friend, you can literally just join the race with a friend and then go back and forth each day coming in first place. It should take you like 10 minutes and you'll get it done. So it's not hard if you have one other person to do the races with. If you're gonna do this solo and try to finish first, I don't really think it's worth it. It's only like a $1 million car to begin with, so I guess that one's really up to you. Now we break into the discounted vehicles, and there's only 4 of them, and yeah, it's kind of lame, I'm not gonna lie. The first one we have is a very good discount, however. This is the Monstrosity, 25% discounted. Now, the Monstrosity is an incredibly fun off-roader, and if you're playing on next-generation consoles, you can get the HSW upgrade, allowing it to achieve a ridiculous top speed of 135 miles per hour. That actually makes it the fastest lap time off-roader in the entire off-road class, so pretty sweet there. It's overall a really fun vehicle to drive. It also features Amani Tech upgrades like a missile lock-on jammer and the ability to have semi-bulletproof glass, which I can showcase very quickly here. If you're to pull out, I don't know, a normal shotgun and try and shoot through the glass, as you can see, it is semi-bulletproof. Also, you can make the entire back completely bulletproof, so pretty cool vehicle overall. I actually really like the Monstrosity. It's one of my favorite off-roaders in the game, and I would highly recommend to get your hands on the vehicle for all the handling and things going for it. Once again, another car stole my spot, bruh. Alright, next up we have the GP1. The GP1 is not going to be winning any races. It's not the fastest at only 123 miles per hour, and lap time wise, yeah, it's pretty tragic. I mean, you can see me rolling around these corners here. Look at how bad this vehicle's handling is. I'm actually a little bit bummed out that Rockstar really did make one of the coolest real-life McLarens have just such a trash handling coefficient. But even with that aside, the GP1 is 30% off, and because of that, it's incredibly cheap. It's normally $1.26 million, but this week it's $880,000. Making it literally one of the cheapest supercars you can pick up. So on that note, I would say that it's actually not a bad deal. If you want to get a cheap supercar that does have at least decent top speed, it's a car. So that's what I'll say about the GP1. It is also removed from the game, so this is your time to get your hands on it if you missed out previously. Next up, we have the Podium PR4. This vehicle is 30% off. It's normally $3.5 million, but this week you can get it for $2.5 million. I mean, that is a $1 million discount. That's actually not too bad at all. The PR4 is the slowest of all of the open-wheel race cars, but while it is the slowest at only 116 miles per hour, it features the second best lap time, so it's actually the best of the bunch in my opinion. Speed doesn't really matter when it comes to the open wheel vehicles. It's all about handling because they're not that fast to begin with. So I would highly recommend to get your hands on the PR4 this week, especially for how cheap it is, and if you wanted to take part in any of the triple money open wheel races this week. Next up, we have a pretty weird kind of group of discounts. This is the Mammoth Thruster, but it's not the Mammoth Thruster that you would find normally to purchase on Warstock. This is the thruster that you're going to find by making your way inside of your Avenger and purchasing it for $700,000. Well, this week you can get it for 30% off. So, yeah, I guess that's something. I mean, it is a cool addition. It doesn't really do anything, but it is 30% off. Not only is the thruster 30% off, but the missile upgrade and machine gun upgrade on the Avenger is also 30% off. So, yeah, kind of weird discounts, I'm not gonna lie. They're really nothing crazy. But if you do own the Avenger and you haven't purchased any of these upgrades yet, then I would say they actually are pretty worthwhile. Especially the missile upgrade for the Avenger, that is like a must-have. So, I guess if you've purchased the Avenger but you haven't upgraded it, this is the week for you. Apart from that, we have 4 removed vehicles that have come back this week. Which ones are worth it? Well, definitely the Neo. This is the first one. The Neo is just an incredible car. First of all, it looks amazing. I love the front design of the Neo. It's got some really cool liveries. It kind of reminds me of the Corsita frontally, so it's just a really cool car. I would highly suggest to just get the Neo. It's incredibly good. After the Neo, yeah, we got some pretty mediocre discounts. We have the GP1, which we already talked about. Wouldn't really suggest to buy this unless you want a cheap supercar. We have the Streeter, which is, yeah, pretty lame. It's cool looking. It's like an off-road SUV, so it's kind of like jacked, but there's nothing really crazy about it. It's pretty slow, and it's kind of bad to drive. And then finishing off, we have the Coil Raiden, which is a Tesla. I mean, it's cool looking. I'm not the biggest fan of Tesla personally, and it's not that fast in the sports class either. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This is all of the deals and discounts this week in Grand Theft Auto Online. None of them are really incredible, and wow, Raiden is absolutely tragic on handling. I've never seen an electric vehicle this bad on handling before, but wow, is it terrible. Either way, hopefully you enjoyed today's video. If you'd like to see more like it, please consider smashing that subscribe button down below, and stay tuned for next week, because yeah, this week kind of sucks. Bye-bye!